There is the continuation of our in-depth horror discussion on the Amityville Horror 1979, the original.
Part 2, breaking down scene by scene.
Mr. Creepshow 09.
June 2005.
We're to break down the scenes as we know.
Wow. Alright, so freaking
We left off
at the 4th day of where he's slowly getting possessed at the house. And it's the 4th day and his wife freaking...
Kathy comes home.
She's getting home with groceries and he's chopping the wood out front, the infamous chopping the wood scene.
And
he's feeling
and that's when she drops the prop groceries that are like empty. The boxes are all empty and like hollow.
She's like, "Can I get a help from you?" And she's like, "Yeah, enough."
The scene's totally scripted.
She's like, "You got enough wood to heat the whole city." And he's just like...
And he's starting to feel his oats after 4 days.
Nah, and then he's just like, "Alright, I'll help you just because I'm not fully possessed yet."
And he tells her to... Yeah. And he's just like, yeah.
But at first he was being like an
But you can tell he's
her.
starting to feel his oats, yeah.
Wow.
And then it cuts to in the kitchen.
It cuts in the kitchen and she's like...
And it's 70s filler where they just like show a whole scene like of nothing. Like just walking around the kitchen for like 30 seconds here.
And then it's like, she's
there.
realizing the house is kind of scary. It's like, and then she turns around and her daughter's right there.
And that's when she talks about the first Jody reference of her imaginary friend that she's seeing, as we know. And then it cuts to the outside shot of the house. So many, like we were saying in part 1, so many gorgeous shots of the house outside with the half-quarter moon windows. So iconic.
So iconic.
So then Kathy ends up calling Father Delaney, the priest that was supposed to bless the house. And we find out that he got sick after
visiting there briefly.
With the fly scene,
The first
as
time
we
at
know.
the house. So he comes down.
That scene
with
is so sick too.
And then it cuts back to them at their house, and then it's the freaking black toilet jizz.
It's the first black slime, another random thing that they like to add in this.
It's the prop that they had. They're like,
in real life, the Lutz family, I guess
them.
they saw a green goo of residue coming out the door handles and stuff.
Yeah, that was made
So they turned it into black slime just because that was probably in Hollywood in the late 70s.
It's the only thing they had in stock in the special effects room.
Black slime
was black jizz.
Black slime movies can get you, or green slime.
Black jizz. We got black jizz.
What else happened? No, and it starts coming, and he's like, Kathy.
And then he's like, Kathy, because
he doesn't even do anything himself.
Because he's half possessed already, and he's just telling her to like do everything now.
And then that's when the nun shows up, and she starts feeling the evil presence.
She comes in, she's like, oh.
Drives her out.
Who's like her sister, the wife's sister or something, or her niece, or her aunt or some crap, her cousin or something. Anyways, so she comes in. She doesn't
Even though
like
in the Bible it says fear no evil, and she's a nun, she wouldn't fear evil, so it probably wouldn't drive her out. So it has to be a really strong presence, as we know. So this is like the devil's like main henchman working in the Amityville Horror House, according to this script.
Yeah, it's his main lackeys.
Then they show her like starting up the car, more filler.
Oh yeah, it takes forever for her to leave.
Of the nun. They actually show her the nun starting up a car.
Back up.
And then she throws up prop. She throws up like a prop.
She doesn't throw up any prop. She prop throws up.
Exactly.
When she opens the door,
and
fake throws up, and she's in front of the door, so she doesn't have to show any throw up in it. It's like script convenience. She like stops halfway. She's driving away and throws up.
And then it cuts to later that
fake
night.
Throws up.
Another night one.
Wow.
And George and Kathy are talking at the fireplace, and he's just like, I gotta be healthy for your brother's wedding. They also throw that into the script, how her brother is getting there.
Yeah, my brother's getting there. You're the best man. Even though you're getting slowly possessed.
And he's just like...
He's like, alright, well, I'm half healthy, so...
Oh, then it starts cutting to multiple shots around the house.
Oh, real tight.
Those shots were amazing.
The hallway, everywhere.
And then Kathy Kathy is possessed in this script also. She yells, she's like, she was shot in the head.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
like
she
wakes
yells.
up from like a dream.
That's the line exactly.
And
Some of the
husband,
dialogue
George,
is questionable
like,
at
looks over her,
parts
like,
in this.
wow, she's feeling her oats too.
And it's like a slow motion shot, like zooming up, and it goes to a red house. Awesome horror feel. Cabin
Real
Fever,
tight
Amityville
shot.
Horror. That's what it's known for.
Does the good feel.
That fade to red, 70s
And then it
feel. You
cuts
just
to-
can't even recapture that
Then
feel
it cuts to the 6th day.
on the film nowadays.
And this is where the priest is like coming back to the house.
And it's like this 70s car action. This is what I'm talking about. All the random things they're throwing. It's like
They're like.
he's like, I gotta get back there. And then
And
like
then
the hood.
the wheel of the car gets possessed and it starts going all over.
And then the hood like props up. Replay
And
the soundtrack.
Wow, hit it, DJ.
And then he crashes, so he can't even go there. Like the demon doesn't even let the
so they
priest go
crash,
there.
And then there's like a freaking fly on the windshield and they like cause the accident. Like what they imply.
And then it cuts to Kathy talking to her younger brother, who's like a total dweeb.
Wow.
He like, and he's just like a total loser, like getting married, like, and it's just terrible acting by this actor.
He's talking about the
And he's just like,
caterer.
George, you look like shit. And he's worrying about the caterer.
And he's like, I can't find my money. And then this where like they like show like, hey, even the house.
Also, they choose to put
The
a
house
butt
is-
ugly babysitter in this movie.
What, braces? Braces?
She's got the Saturn ring braces.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so we meet that. Yeah, so then she's getting. So her brother's getting married. He's talking to him about the caterer, and he's just like, yeah.
And then they
I
make
gotta
the
have
demon
cash.
steal the cash.
1500 in cash, and then freaking they like the house, and they're like, oh, the house did it. Oh. And he's like, George is like, I'll write a
then
check
he starts
for him. It's
pounding the
alright.
sofa. He's like, oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah, and he's
Like
like,
twice.
he's like, it was just right here. I can't believe it. And starts punching the sofa.
Hey, settle down, Mikey.
And you're like, wow, settle down. You're getting married, man. Calm down.
Then the babysitter.
And the babysitter's like, alright, wash your hands.
Then it's the infamous babysitter gets locked in the closet scene
By Jody.
later that night.
By Jody.
And they shoot this. There's
Jodie Foster.
okay, listen to this. There's like no special effects. Like, because there were no special effects basically in the 70s.
there was special
except for,
effects.
yeah, it was a fishing
Yeah,
wire
yeah.
to pull up something.
Yeah, except for like a liquid resin pit.
Exactly. And then they just shut off the light. That's the only horror suspense in there.
From all the
she's just
Hollywood
screaming
actors'
like,
bowls.
Ah. It's like the non-scariest, wackest shot scene ever. And then it cuts to in the bathroom scene, and he's just like, and George is just like throwing up, like, oh, I'll give you a check to the caterer. He's just like,
Yeah, and the caterer's like, see, I need cash. He's like, you can't rely on checks.
he's like, listen, buddy,
and he's like, listen, asshole, I'm not gonna
you're
mess
gonna
with
like
you.
that shit.
He's like, I'm not gonna
take a
mess with
piss.
you inside this.
He's gonna
bathroom.
take my check that's gonna bounce, and I'm gonna take a piss. And then we're all gonna have a good, happy wedding.
No, he's like, listen, buddy, I don't want to hassle in this restroom.
Exactly. What happens next?
He's like, cash is lost, you're getting the check. So then he's boned about getting the check, and then George tells all the kids to go to bed because they get home and then find that she's in the closet, like as we said.
Oh, they
And
shot
then he
this
tells the kids, "Alright,
so much better in the
No,
remake.
this is the part where they show that he's possessed because he's like, you
They
guys are
make it like
he's like, you guys are pathetic. Go to bed. After she was trapped in the closet. He's like, the door was.
they make the dialogue more crude in the remake.
He's like,
compared
the
to
door
this
wasn't even
movie.
locked. He's like, the door wasn't even locked, honey. You could have got out. So she thinks it was freaking the kid, but
And
she
the
said it was,
babysitter's butt ugly.
but the kid
like
says
I
it was
saying.
Jody, and yeah, she's butt ugly, like he was saying.
And then the dialogue and the acting is just lame in this, and it's all in one take. Like they set the camera up in the corner and just let it go, like a play or something. Like they're all on stage in this set. And then she's just like, Jody doesn't like George. The little girl starts talking about Jody again, of course. And then
And then it shows him freaking waking up again, cuts the middle of the night, and then freaking he sees it's like the dragon, it's the green dragon prop statue, and he's like right by a foot back, he's like, ah.
yeah,
Showing he's more possessed.
that's a sweet shot. I like that. Then it cuts to the infamous
And then it cuts
priest
to the
discussion
priest talking,
scene.
yeah, at the church discussion, how it's, you know, an actual...
They're like going for an Oscar.
it's
The
an
dialogue's
actual-
actually pretty good in this scene compared to the last scene. It's like amazing.
The priest
it's like
is
night
just
and
making
day.
the case that, yeah, it's an actual presence in there, an actual demon. And the other guys are like, yeah, whatever.
It's like angels and demons,
They're like,
Da Vinci
whatever.
Code style.
Just keep it under wraps. So that's how, as far as that goes. Yeah, it's some funny lines in there because he's like,
And he's just like, who the... And he's just like, he's like, no, and he's talking about Robert DeFeo too. He's like, I knew the DeFeos. He's like, he said on the trial that he heard voices. And he's like, I know a demon is in... I know the devil's work is in that house. And then the priests are just blowing him off. And he's just like, who the hell do you think you are? And it's just hilarious.
Funny lines. Anyway, so then it cuts from there.
He's like, do you think you and your secular education gives you the right to question the church?
It cuts from there to the
They're
11th
like, we're going to
day.
do nothing. That's what we're going to do.
It cuts to the 11th day, Thursday, and freaking...
And they're like, take a vacation.
Yeah.
So then the guy shows up to tell George about the bills. His partner, his business partner.
Yeah, this part's hilarious. No,
He's like, yeah, you wrote a check
he
that
pulls
bounced.
up with like his wife, and then his wife gets out, and then she's like, oh no, I can feel the speech. I don't want to get any closer. And he's like, what?
Oh yeah,
And then
they
he
like
comes-
just add her character to like.
And then he comes
to
around.
spin like the witchcraft lines.
And then he comes around, and it's George Chapman Wood again, because he's cold. Hey, George gets cold.
And then that's when he throws the axe in the tree. That's sweet.
Oh yeah, and he's like,
Pretty tight.
and then he's like, oh, nice shot, George.
And then the kid gets cut. This happened in real life too, so they just decided to throw that in the J.
drops
Anson
the freaking
book.
window on his hand, like a little wiener.
And then it's the prop blood horrors score
Yeah, they put the prop blood everywhere.
on his hand. No, it wasn't that bad.
I'm
So
just
anyway,
saying,
they
you
just
can tell
add
it's
that
prop
in. They
blood.
still treat him like an extra. He's got like no lines. They don't even like get him
Yeah,
ice
he's
cream
just-
or
he's
anything.
just
They
a
just take
kid.
him to get his freaking thing.
Yeah, but this is where it does a real tight shot with the camera.
They're
'cause
like, we have no.
No, this is where it cuts from right there. You know, his hand getting, they take him to the hospital. Cuts to the dashboard of the Virgin Mary on the dashboard, and then he just pulls out, and it's them walking out of the hospital. Pretty tight shot.
So then it cuts to that night, and he wakes up, and he's in his fucking whitey tighties. This scene.
No,
Like, what the
before
hell?
that though, that's when his friend's telling him. He's like, yeah, he's like, that cash bounce for the caterer. He's like, where have you been, man? He's like, you get married. He's like, freaking, you lose.
Of course you're
stab
lying.
your All right, go.
A minute late delivering those lines.
Yeah.
At that night when he's in his freaking whitey tighties, like I was saying.
Yeah, he's in his freaking.
He
white
goes
tighties.
into the room with the freaking flies that are the infamous
yeah, and
flies,
he's like,
Texas
wow.
Chainsaw Massacre style. No, this is when the
This is when he
front
wakes
door
up at
busts
3:15.
open
Yeah, he wakes
like
up at
an earthquake
3:15
or
again.
something, even though they're in
He
New
wakes
York.
up at 3:15 and then he comes out, yeah, and then in the living room, and then the door busts open.
And you're like, what the hell? They just like did that just because like one of the stunt coordinators like came up with the idea like, hey,
Yeah,
we could
blow
we
up
could
the
rig
front window and all the
we could
windows.
rig like M80s
Yeah, all the
to
windows-
the door hinges and
all
blow
the
it
windows
off.
blow out
It looks
in the
sweet.
front door.
And the director's like, no shit, dude, let's do it. And they just like added it in like as they went along.
Alright, and then this is where the freaking sergeant cop
The
shows
fat
up
detective from
with the
the
cigars.
opening scene
And they're
shows
like,
up.
Yeah, and the other cop's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, insomnia.
And he sparks a cigar and walks in their house.
And he
like,
walks in the house baking
if someone
out.
did that in 2011,
So then they'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
they'd be like, take your
that
shoes
stuff-
off and
take that cigar out of that freaking house.
because everyone's whack. But back then, still about 50% of the population smoked tobacco.
Wow.
No, then they go. I don't remember for what reason. He takes them into the basement. All right, we're gonna continue this on.
Yeah, we'll cut back to part 3 of the in-depth horror discussion review of the Amityville Horror 1979 original JBM 2005, Mr. Creepshow 9.